The crypto markets slide lower today, in concert with mainstream markets as well, as it looks like we're approaching yet another March 2020 moment. This was, of course, the COVID crash that many thought would lead to a never-ending bear market, where we return to the lows of 2008's stock market or potentially 2001. We really don't know, as the stock market has been up only for many, many years. However, it's quite possible that this is yet another chance to buy into an extreme bear euphoria moment, a crash, which then would get offset by government spending and would inevitably lead to yet another few years of asset appreciation. Today, we're going absolutely deep on everything going on with the macro environment and pointing out some extremely useful trends that are going to help you get ahead and stay ahead of this particular move. If you guys are excited for this one, go ahead, destroy that like button, and remember, each and every comment on this video is entered to win your very own hardware wallet. As always, there are scammers in the comments pretending to be me, and if you want more videos like this one, you definitely do. Make sure you subscribe and put that bell notification on, because we're going to be giving you daily cryptocurrency and market-wide business insights to help you get ahead of the next few years of crazy market activity. And just like we promised, even though there's a quote-unquote bear market, we've been cranking up the gains by calling out some of the most disruptive NFT projects, and I've been getting constant messages about people having gotten into NFTs and finally had some success in the crypto industry. If you guys are excited for this one, hit that like button and let's dive in. Here we go again, as the Dow slides on fears of yet an uptick of COVID sick patients. We can see once again that the disease is spreading like wildfire. I know that the charts in Los Angeles have been explosive, and quite frankly, as I'm about to go on my first vacation in years, I was sincerely hoping that there would be not a huge influx of COVID, of people getting sick who are already vaccinated. Look, there's a lot of information to be discovered here, but what it does feel like is that at least in LA, where I'm from, we're headed towards another lockdown or something like that. And that would, of course, send stocks and businesses tumbling for support, and there would be a huge political demand and pressure to print more money and stimulate the economy and keep people from going completely out of business. Now, I do believe that it would be politically pretty much suicidal if the current administration didn't capitulate to these demands. That essentially whichever politician or political side decides to go with a little bit of tough love, that the reality is, even though that might be good for the economy long term, short term, they'd probably get booted from office. And we all know re-election is king, so my particular belief is that this is the beginnings of what we saw back in December 2020. So looking back at March 2020, we see that Bitcoin had slid a little bit from the $10,000 mark down here to the $9,000 mark, and as markets started to really tumble, we saw a huge lurch down to the mid 7,000s and then a massive capitulation. What we can see here is this capitulation actually took us down to the under $5,000 mark here. We did wick much lower. This doesn't show the wicks on CoinGecko, but the wicks were actually much lower, and so there was opportunities to get some really juicy low entries on Bitcoin. And once those capitulation candles had actually run their course, what we saw was pretty much an up-only market here in crypto, where if you bought in anywhere in this capitulation zone, you were just onwards and upwards, crushing it for several months, actually over a year. So what we see here is the opportunity to potentially manifest one of these situations again. We got our slide from the top, and if we get a capitulation down to, let's just say about half of where we are now, that would put us up in this, high teens zone here, where there is quite a bit of support if we go down to the teens. Now, of course, that would be complete disaster. People would be running scared to the hills from crypto land in that event. And if we get a huge dose of stimmy thereafter, what would probably happen is a repeat, or at least what we hope would happen, is a repeat here of this early 2020 crash. Again, I said it back then and I'll say it again, that stimulus has completely divorced us from normal market conditions, which is why, quite frankly, the normal 4-year cycle might not be as valid. And quite frankly, the normal models we've been used to actually analyze the growth of Bitcoin might be needed to move to the side, because we have this artificial force stimulating not only this market, but all markets. And this all as Fed is looking at the stablecoin issue, which I mentioned on my video yesterday. You absolutely must be aware that this could cause some massive FUD, but in the end, a digitized US dollar is coming, and they're not going to rug pull everyone of $60 to $100 billion. They're actually just going to give the opportunity for these projects to get compliant or force a redemption mechanism. I don't believe that there is a situation where everything just gets rug pulled and everyone's USDC is worth zero. That's not what's going to happen here. However, I do believe that this is a huge issue and will cause some FUD along with AML concerns. That's definitely going to all happen soon. But just know that this is what I see as the near future, is that we see all kinds of markets sliding right now, and it's going to lead to inevitably, as there is potentially a new lockup, the need for a ton more stimulus. And given the rhetoric out of the Biden campaign, I believe that stimulus will come in the form of massive multi-trillion-dollar increments, which has got to have an impact on not just Bitcoin, but all asset prices. So I'm preparing for yet another opportunity to repeat what happened in March 2020. Now, of course, this could be the fool's big bull trap where everyone gets bullish at the bottom and it just continues to cascade downwards and downwards and downwards. I certainly hope not, because that would be a much bigger problem that goes way further than crypto. That's a global problem. That is a modern civilization stability issue, which is why I also think there's absolutely no way that they will let it happen, that they will just keep injecting and outlawing bear markets. I do believe that that is the most likely scenario, regardless of the long-term effects. That seems to be the go-to as far as what the politicians in power will most likely opt for. And in the background, we have Grayscale pushing for an ETF. Look, if anyone's going to be able to do it, they've shown that they are the most popular crypto or Bitcoin product in the world, and I believe that they will be successful at some point in getting an ETF. Someone will, and this will cause a massive, massive on-ramp catalyst for higher priced Bitcoin. I do believe that. And it's important to realize that this isn't crypto specific, this current slide we're in. We're looking at an absolute market-wide collapse. We're seeing SPAC after SPAC getting canceled. If you guys don't know what SPACs are, these are the ways that private companies are going public by essentially creating a special purpose acquisition company, or a SPAC, that essentially allows for vehicles to go public. We saw it with several different projects. And this has actually caused the SEC to kind of get a little bit eyebrow raised when companies are doing this, because a lot of these are going down after listing and they're not holding their value. So now we're seeing the market no longer support these SPACs like it had done so well over the last few years. We're seeing market-wide slides. We're seeing weakness in crypto. We're seeing the potential of new lockdowns. And this is all pointing towards a massive multi-trillion-dollar new stimulus, devaluation of the dollar, and continuation of up-only mode for assets, I do believe. And all of this is in concert with continual absolute mania mode in NFT land. You can see this most recent standout project, SupDucks. I actually degened into this one with quite a few SupDucks, and I'll be actually giving out a couple SupDucks to some of the audience tomorrow. So get excited for the SupDuck giveaway. Go ahead, leave a comment in the comment section below if you guys are excited for that. I'm going to be doing my best to give out some NFTs to people. In general, I'm trying to figure out how to shine a light on NFT projects without creating a bunch of hype and overhype and FOMO, because I don't want this to be a repeat of February with IDOs where everything gets so overhyped, and then essentially those first day prices just get astronomically out of whack. What I'd really like to do is figure out a way to tell you guys about projects in an organic way. I'm still figuring it out. Obviously, we're going to have a dedicated episode tomorrow, the first ongoing non-fungible Tuesdays, which I'm very passionate about as a first segment here, as part of a much larger play into shining a light on NFTs, which people are not dropping their values of their NFTs like they are in crypto with their fungible tokens. I mean, I do believe this has a lot to do with how much harder it is to manipulate these assets. But if we see here, if we go to rankings, what you'll see here is that there have been a lot of projects performing over the last few days. We can see here, if I blow up the screen and myself a little bit, we can see that over the last 7 days, yes, some of these collections have dropped off, but if we switch to a 24-hour period, what we see is that actually there's a lot of explosion of certain collections, with 270% increase in Bored Ape Kennel Club, CryptoPunks up 13%. We also have the Ape Gang up 800%. We have Cool Cats actually having a really nice pushback. If we push back and we see these prices here, you can see they've now turned back up into the right, almost making new all-time highs, and the floor price is actually higher now, I believe, than it ever has been. Yeah, the floor price of Cool Cats is now 0.994. Wow, I didn't even realize the Cool Cats floor price was so high. I mean, remember, these were minted for 0.06, right? So now these are officially at 15x. Any single asset in the Cool Cats would be 15x from mint, and some of them a lot more than 15x. So look, are these all going to zero? Quite likely that a lot of avatar projects are going to zero. But I did want to share with you something that I put on my Twitter today, and I think it's a really important thing for you to have in your mind, which is like, hey, what does this even look like long term as these projects get some steam under them? And I think that this video really says it all. This is an upcoming show from Fox.
Fox is making television history again. Undiscovered talent get the chance to perform as their avatar alter ego. It's the world's first Avatar singing competition series. You have to see to believe. Who will be your alter ego? A new competition series, Wednesdays after The Masked Singer.
So as you can see, it's a reality show where they actually are using avatars instead of humans here to compete. And so what I'm saying here is that I know that people are looking at these avatar projects as sort of useless garbage, but when you peel back the layers, who knows what the actual pricing models should be. But I do believe that avatars in general, and especially literally owning something unique that no one else can really have a claim to because you can prove that that's actually yours, I believe that there's going to be huge demand for it because avatars are part of the generational shift towards a fully digital lifestyle. And this show on Fox is just, to me, indicating exactly where we're going. I think that the avatar thing is a perfect example of a very unsuspecting innovation. They're just cartoons, they're just JPEGs, they're just silly toys. But the actual market to own a unique identity that you can then use across the internet is a very interesting one, and a market I could see evolving to the billions, the tens of billions, and even more over time as life becomes fully digitized. So that's why I've become so enamored with this avatar space. And like I said, I'm going to be giving out some of these avatar projects. I'm going to be minting some. Obviously, I'm trying to do this in a way that isn't causing huge FOMO spikes and isn't causing gas wars so that I send, thousands of people to a certain project and it causes this massive gas war just to mint. In the end, it just ends up hurting the smaller participants. So in going with my overall channel ethos, which is to help the small participants or newbies or people who want to have success in crypto, I'm trying to figure out how to share these projects in ways that doesn't create too much hype and FOMO. And so yeah, we're working on it. I might not mint live because I think that might actually cause too much FOMO or drive too much hype towards these projects. So yeah, I'm coming up with the right formula, but just know I'm hyper focused on getting you guys the absolute best information in the NFT space. There's absolutely no coverage of NFTs, specifically nothing on this level that's going to give you a nuanced and robust understanding of why these things have value. And that's what we're going to create for you here on Elio Trades Crypto, soon to be Elio Trades NFTs channel. No, I'm just kidding. It's still Elio Trades Crypto, but that's what I'm thinking about. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. So as we slip and slide to potential more lockups, market-wide collapses, and yet another March 2020 moment, the opportunity is in the air and I can smell it. The question is this going to be a massive bull trap? Because now everybody knows to buy the COVID crash. Who knows? We're gonna have to find out together. But what I do believe is that asset prices are sliding while markets and products are growing, and we're seeing innovation come to the crypto industry, which was stuff we could have only dreamed of before. Now, we do see that the Axie economy is based a lot on economics of the assets, which does make it still a little bit more vulnerable to collapses in asset prices. But I do believe we'll see NFTs and specifically gaming continue to decouple, especially as we get more and more robust gaming-centric products. Now, like I said, I'll be back each and every day bringing you the absolute best information that can help you get ahead and stay ahead of the space. Anyone involved in Avatar Land over the last few weeks and months has been doing really well. I've been getting crazy messages, and so thank you guys all for reaching out and sharing your success stories. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about yet, we're going to be giving you the keys to the kingdom here on Non-Fungible Tuesdays. With that said, my name's Elio Trades. If you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, put that bell notification on. It's good for you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, smash that like button, destroy it, obliterate it. It's all I ask. It's so free and it's such an easy way to help the channel grow. With that said, my name's Elio Trades. You can find me on Twitter at Elio Trades. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.